Actions allow us to add interactivity to our Tableau worksheets and dashboards. You can find this option from the worksheet menu. You're going to see Actions right here. This option also appears under the dashboard menu at the very top. There's also Actions right there. When we say that Actions add interactivity, what we mean is we, as the designers of our worksheets and our dashboards, are going to let our audience interact with our views by selecting or clicking on a mark, putting the mouse pointer over the mark. This is also called hover, or perhaps by allowing them to choose from a list of options that look like hyperlinks. So this is your menu option. As of the current version, 2022, Tableau supports these types of actions. You have a filter action, a highlight action, go to URL, go to sheet, change parameter, and change set values. Note that different actions serve a different purpose, and each one will have a different behavior. Our choice for the type of action often depends on our goal and what we're trying to accomplish or demonstrate. Let's give an overview of these different types. A filter action allows us to narrow down or limit the data that we are showing on our views or our dashboards. Note that with a filter action, these are the options that we have. We have a name, we have the source sheets, the target sheets. We can run the action on hover, select, menu. We also have a choice of what to do when the selection is cleared, and we can also define which fields we're going to use for filter. Highlight actions allow us to dim certain parts of our worksheets or our dashboards, while we let other marks retain their colors and they become emphasized. The options that we can tweak with our highlight actions, they're very similar to the filter actions, but with a few changes. So in here, we can adjust the name. We also have our source sheet and our target sheets. We can run the action on hover, select, menu, as well as specify the fields that we're going to use for highlighting. Go to URL action, as the name suggests, allows us to go to a web page through a URL or a link. The options that we can tweak, we can change the name, the source sheet. Note in here that you don't have a target sheet because what you have is a URL target. We can run the action on hover, select, menu, but at the same time, we also need to specify the actual URL. Notice in here though, that for the URL, we can also insert additional information. So we can pass that information to the web page. Sometimes what we need to do is simply go from sheet to sheet or dashboard to dashboard. And that is what the go to sheet action is for. It allows us to navigate from sheet to sheet, dashboard to dashboard, without needing to filter or highlight anything or do anything special. Notice in here that all we can configure is the source sheet, the target sheet, and how we're planning to run this action. There is a similar functionality that allows us to navigate from sheet to sheet or dashboard to dashboard, and that is through the navigation object. The big difference is that the action, this go-to action, this is activated through interaction with the marks. So for example, if you have a bar chart, it's an interaction, a click, a mouse over on that bar chart. However, the navigation, it creates its own button that is different and apart from the marks that you have in your view. And that is what triggers the movement from one sheet to another. We can also change parameter values through an action. So there is a change parameter action. We can change the name. We can specify a source sheet and decide how to run the action. But instead of a target sheet or a dashboard, what we get is a target parameter. And what we need to specify in here is which parameter we're trying to change and what the new value is. The last type of action is the change set values action. We can adjust the name, we can adjust the source sheet, as well as how the action is run. Again, either select, hover, or menu, but our target is going to be a target set. And we get to decide what happens when we run the action. When we click on a mark, do we assign values to a set? Do we add the values to a set? Or maybe we want to remove those values from the set. And when we clear a selection, what do we plan to do with the values in the set?